Hi everybody, just wanted to run a quick video here of the virtual tour gallery of Christmas quilts that I've got hanging in the Masterpiece Quilting studio. Some of you had asked about details on the quilting, so I want to show that to you real quick. On this particular one, which is Tree Time, I did a mix of crosshatch and straight line quilting. And you can see that I run the straight lines between the branches, so to speak, of the tree, and then filled out with crosshatch in the rest of the area. Swapped out threads and then just ran a really random pattern to kind of mimic some texture in the branches. So moving on to the next quilt, try to get you a big picture of it. And yes, that big white area that you see that looks like sun, we have sun in Indiana in December. It's amazing. This is Christmas Legacy that's in the current issue of Quilter's World magazine. Border area, I've got straight line piano keys. Did some point-to-point quilting around the piece border blocks. This one's completely custom quilted. Added some curved line quilting in there. And let me grab one of the blocks for you. We've got a motif in here in the curve section, another one in here, and then another motif here in the big poinsettia print. So completely custom quilt on this one. Moving down to the poinsettia runner. Whoops, wrong direction. Sorry. Whoa, sorry there, folks. This is why I don't run a video camera very often. Poinsettia runner. Custom quilting in the outer border. That is one of Tammy Finkler's, Tammy Oberlin TK Quilting. TKquilting.com is going to get you that digital pattern. And then a lot of straight line using matching thread for the background around all of the appliques. Moving on to a tree of presents, kind of get you a big picture shot of it there. Straight lines, I love straight line quilting. The texture is amazing on this one. And it's been folded up, so it's not hanging super flat. I just pulled them out of the tote and hung them. So didn't do any stretching, blocking, prep work. Inside each of the blocks is a little different motif. So I mixed up some cross hatching, straight line quilting, just to give it some texture and to give each one of the blocks a little bit of a different look because they are to mimic presents. Moving up here on to the top is the Jingle Bell runner, or no, excuse me, Jingle Bell wall hanging. Again, lots of straight line quilting. Going to zoom in on one of the bells. I've got a buttonhole stitch to hold each of the fusible applique bells in place, and then added an actual bell. So this one's a very decorative wall hanging with those bells. Christmas Friends is the traditional red, green, and white quilt that's on my new book, the 2018 Christmas collection. I had a lot of fun quilting this one. There's just part of me that's modern. I just can't hide it anymore. Anyway, lots of straight line quilting in some concentric spirals coming out. More custom quilting here in each one of the star blocks, and then built out, framing the triangles as we keep moving out with different quilting in each one of those. The table runner from the Learn to Machine Binding, let's see, what is it? Yeah, Learn to Machine Bind Your Quilts video class. Custom quilted again. We've got a really cute border and then a larger swirl pattern run throughout the center section. Little bit of Christmas, which is hanging with it folded over. Basic edge-to-edge pantograph. Meander pattern, straight, simple, in a very light green color, kind of a mossy green. In this one, the fabrics and the pattern are the showcase, so the quilting went totally secondary. Plus, if I remember right, I was on a massive time crunch to get that one done. I'm going to walk past, well, here, we'll just do some close-ups. Cornerstones on the Poinsettia Song Quilt-Along quilt, a full custom quilt. These are the cornerstones. Let me hit. I'm trying to scoot around the long arm while I'm taping this to give you a bigger picture. Each one of the blocks has the same motif in it for uniformity. And then I've got the sashing areas done with some ovals, so it fills in all the sashing areas. And then the outer border is straight line piano key. And one of the things that I always try to do is balance where can the quilting be seen and where isn't the quilting going to be seen. Fabrics were busy enough over here in the border. Didn't matter how I was going to quilt that. You were not going to see that quilting in that border section. So I just went with something simple, straight line. And yes, you can see the broom handle there in the corner of the video. It's a real studio and it's functional. So we got broom right here next to the quilts. But we can see the quilting in the cornerstones and in the framing sections here, the sashing sections. So that's where I went all out and added some quilting that definitely could be seen. And then wanted to keep all the blocks the same. Because the blocks have so much difference in them as far as space for custom quilting, there was no way that I could get a uniform amount of quilting in them. So I just ran the same pattern, block pattern in each one of those. So anyway, now you've got it. A quick overview and close-up of the quilts that are here hanging on my wall. The blog post gives you a lot more details where you can find the patterns, where the patterns have been published and where they're available for purchase. Hey, we still have sun. We've got sun in Indiana. You can tell I'm very excited because I've had to mention this twice today. And then tree time hanging down here on the end. Anyway, that's all, folks. Thank you for joining me. Again, this is Nancy Scott with Masterpiece Quilting and a quick virtual tour of my Christmas quilts hanging for Christmas 2018. Bye now.